Welcome to Bravo Mission Radio, the podcast for veterans about the mission after you hung up your boots. What to do after you take off the uniform, about the journey of rediscovering the tribe, the loss of identity, and the path to a purpose-driven life. Join us as we take the first steps towards your purpose beyond the uniform.
Welcome back, tribe, to another episode of Bravo Mission Radio. And last episode, we sat down with retired United States Army Major Ivette Daley and talked about some of the things she went through during her transition and how she dealt with them, how she's moving forward, and what happens after you do everything right in a great career, and what happens in the aftermath of getting out. So, Chaz, I'm going to turn it over to you for a second.
Yeah, absolutely. So, right, she retired honorably. She landed a solid civilian job. Really just checked all the boxes, right? And still, something's off. Something was off. And so we're going to dive deep into that. And Yvette, I'm going to go ahead and pass this over to you.
Yeah, on paper, everything looks like success, but internally it can feel really empty and confusing.
That short video clip you posted a while back that got a lot of buzz, a lot of people, a lot of likes, a lot of hearts on it. I think we're up to about 15,000 views on that. And that really came through and showed in that video how a paper checklist does not equate to a successful transition, right? And last time we talked about identity and how, you lose the structure and the language and how quiet it gets after all of that is gone.
Yeah, right. And that silence is hard, right? It hits us very hard. Many folks really think that, something is wrong, right? Or that it means that something is wrong with them individually. And, it seems like the world around them is just, everything else is better, right?
Yeah, when
Yeah.
when really it's just that the system changed overnight.
Yeah, a lot of bureaucracy involved with getting out, and then you're kind of left in the lurch as to what to do next, right? Um, the mission changed. The rules do change when you roll out. So we're gonna dig into that today. So when the uniform comes off and that mission board just disappears, how do you even know if you're winning or losing? Without those supervisors there to tell you you've been doing right or wrong, or without someone, like the first sergeant or the commander telling you what to do, like what does that actually look like when you're trying to be a winner?
Yeah, I think that's a really great point. And, that's where most people get stuck.
Definitely. And you don't know what you're doing. You've been told for however long you've been in, this is the measure that you need to be at. This is the standard, right? So I want to lob up the first question, but before I do that, I want to intro it this week. Yvette got to it last week before I had a chance, but Vet fam, this is brass tacks. This is where we say, damn the torpedoes, rip off all the drywall, and get down to the bare bones, down to the foundation of military transition. So, with that being said, I want to talk about what I call the old scoreboard. Like before you retired, what did that success look like in your military career and in your family life and in your scholastic life? Like, who was defining that?
Yeah, so in my military life, obviously, whether you're enlisted or officer, you have yearly reviews, right? For me, officer evaluations, and pretty much you're always trying to make sure that you meet those marks so that you can make the next rank, right? And a lot of it's pretty much left to your rater and senior rater. So your rater for me
Mm.
rates your performance, right? Like how do you do this year? or how did you do in this time period that you were being, rated. And then your senior rater rates your potential. Do you have the potential to move on to the next rank, to get more leadership, to go to a different school, to advance, and stay longer in the army? So it during the military, it was a daunting, because a lot of the times I felt that one person held the key for me to either
Mhm.
progress or not progress, and then to give me a good grade, right? And everybody wants a good grade. And then when you're going up for promotion, it's a room full of strangers that don't know you, and then they're just looking at a number, a numerator, right, on your,
Mhm.
saying you're 1 out of 10, or you're top 10%, right? And they're looking at you like, I think they say it's like less than 3 minutes with your file. And then they don't even know you. They don't know the human you. They just see what's written on black and white. And I went through a lot of struggles with it, because like I said in the previous podcast, I'm an overachiever, and sometimes I feel like, I'm the shit right now, but but
Mhm.
then that's not how it translated to my senior rater or my rater, and then that really did things to my mental health, because sometimes you put everything on, like, writing on that, and then when it comes down to it, you didn't do so great. So now what's
Mhm.
next? Am I still worthy to be in the service, to stay in the army, and advance to the next rank? So that's what defines success in the military for me and for everyone, right? In my professional life, I guess, making sure that my household stayed intact, and that we weathered the storms together. Um and having a healthy work life balance, and having a good relationship with my spouse and my family, right? And then that's what I measured at. That was my thing. As long as we're not over here in court or domestic abuse,
Mhm. Yeah.
we're good.
So
Everybody has issues, every relationship, right? So as
Mhm.
long as we are weathering that storm and staying afloat on the boat, that what
Yeah.
success for me looked like in my personal life. And then in scholastic life, it's just grades.
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yvette, you talked a lot about the different successes and what they look like, but so when you were transitioning out, what version of success were you still chasing? That just no longer fit into your life.
you know, um, when I got out, I was a field grade officer, and you know, to me that was, I wasn't gonna go for more than that. I decided at 2021 I'm getting out, just because for my mental health and for me and my family, I just wanna, be done. Um, So knowing that I had this amount of, like, level of responsibility in the military, and then transitioning into another civilian job where I didn't have the title, or I didn't have the level of responsibility, I'm like, so am I successful now or not? You know? Like,
Mhm.
what does
Mm,
success look like now for me? I have a good paying job, but I don't have the same level of, I would say, title, respect, that the military kind of like goes because of your rank, right? And because of the positions you're placed in. So for me, I was like, holy crap, well, I'm just a Joe
mm.
now again. So okay, let me be a Joe now. But it took me a little while getting used to the fact that I didn't have the title, or the rank, or the pay that I thought I was gonna get.
So like when you realized that part, like where you didn't have, your old rank, your old title, or like the clout that came with that
hmm
stuff, is that what maybe triggered something in your transition to enhance that feeling of like, oh shit, this is it?
Yeah, and especially when you're applying and applying and applying for jobs, right? Because after my contract job that ended and I was unemployed for 8 months, I applied to so many jobs, and then you just keep getting these like, oh, thank you for applying, but we went with someone that most fit our what we're
Mm-hmm.
looking for, right? And that's just like a gut punch every single time because you're like, well, dang, I meet all the requirements that you stated in this damn job description, but I'm not good enough. So that I'm
Mm-hmm.
not good enough kept coming up and all the time saying, with every single rejection email. So for me, that's when I was like, damn, I'm in the suck right now. You know, just my mental health declined a lot during those 8 months, during my transition. Yeah.
That's very interesting. I love the fact that you talked about that, like, and again, that goes back to, where we started at when we were talking about identity and things of that nature. So when that actually went away, like, and you faced those challenges of being denied for jobs that you clearly were probably overqualified for, to be honest with you, let's just face it. So having those setbacks, right? How do you now define what winning looks like?
You know, in my professional life, I see it now that I have a small team. I love my team. I work in healthcare still, but making a difference in their lives completely. This is a group of civilian females that I manage, that I'm in charge of, and just making sure that whenever I do decide to leave this job or move on to the next, that they remember me as you know a caring professional, and that I make an impact in their lives. So that's what I see as success as now. Yeah, we do get annual appraisals, but that doesn't mean anything anymore to me. It just, what I want as a personal fulfillment is that whoever I come in contact with now, at work or anywhere, that they say like, yeah, I learned something from Ivette. We were able to talk about our struggles together, or like she listened to me and gave me solid advice, or she helped me get this, find the resources I needed for this and that. So that's how I want to be remembered, or that's how I want people to remember me when they talk about me when I'm already at the next thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm.
So you want your legacy to be about Ivette, not about the rank and the title.
Yeah, I want them to remember, yeah, that I was able to help them, and that I made an impact in their lives. So that's what
Mm-hmm.
I'm not looking for medals, and I'm not looking for, praise or blah, blah, blah. I just want to come home at the end of the day and feel that I made a difference. And almost every day I do. I come home and I'm like, well, that went great today, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
So with that being said, another question right quick I have is why as veterans do we find it so hard to reach that point where it's no longer about the title or the rank or how you lead people? Like, because we have a lot on our plates
Mhm.
as military members, right? Especially if you're in a leadership position, because you got your daily grind, your job, then you've got troops to worry about, then you got your troops to worry about, then you got to worry about everyone's family and finances. Did oh boy get a haircut today? Did so and so
Mhm.
make their car payment? Like,
Yeah.
do you think we're afraid to leave our rank and titles behind because we felt so needed? And I'll say it, we felt kind of proud that we were that important, right?
Yeah,
At certain
exactly.
points. So
Yeah.
do you think losing that is a part of that?
Oh, I most definitely agree. I can recall one time when I was in command 2 times. My first time leaving command, after 18 months, the ceremony had passed. The new commander was
Mhm.
in her office, and I am leaving my parking spot, my, like, commander parking spot for the last time. And I'm just like, who
Mhm.
am I? I'm not the commander anymore. Like, that was a loss, right? I'm like, who is
Mhm.
this person? I, okay. But then at the other side, I was like, oh my God, I don't got to worry about phone calls at midnight or writing situational incident reports on the weekend, accompanying the first sergeant to get somebody out of jail. So,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. I don't miss that.
yeah. The same thing now, it's true. It all aligns with it because you feel so needed and so important when you're in leadership roles. And then when you get out, you're not that, but you're important. But you know what? You're important to your family that you made it alive
Mhm.
and well, and you're still with them. So that's what you got to keep in mind, that you might not be in leadership position and, having, 50, 60, 70 Joes, that you are responsible for, but you're responsible for the happiness of your family and the happiness of your kids. And that's what that's your new mission. So,
Mhm.
yeah.
Did she just say Joe's as in like G.I. Joe's?
G.I. Joe's, dog.
Sorry.
That was awesome. No,
and I also want to say she said that's your next mission. So it's kind of like your Bravo mission.
Yeah, your Bravo
Oh,
mission.
I see what you did.
You see what I did there?
I see what you did there.
Mhm.
Man, Mr. Higgins, I noticed you were chomping at the bit when she was talking this last time. What's on your mind, man?
Oh no, man. I think that's awesome. So here's my overarching question with everything that we've said, right? How do we as veterans, or man, I don't want to sound like, I'm above all the rest type deal, but some veterans have gone through these things, right? And they've been able to come out on the other side. So how do we look back and how do we convince and cheer on, our tribe as they're going through that transition to just give themselves that permission to redefine what success looks like after that uniform comes off?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I think that bringing in the family members to the fold of like, this is what I'm going to go through, giving them that education, because for them it's like, okay, daddy or mommy, my spouse is not going to be, wearing the uniform every day now, but they don't really understand what's going up in your noggin, right, in your head and in your feelings, inside your soul. So you need to sit down with your family members and let them know, like, hey, um be prepared, because I'm going to lean on you and I'm going to need you. And there's going to be times that I might not say anything. And I just need you to know and acknowledge that, like, okay, let me see what's up with her or with you, and have that discussion and have a conversation. Yeah. Did I even
Oh
answer your
man, that's
question?
awesome. No, that was perfect. I think that was perfect, right? I mean, listen, this is Bravo Mission Radio. There is no wrong answers.
Yeah, we just go all
I'm
over
like,
the place here.
Right?
yeah, because sometimes, for example, my personal, right, I'm here as your guest, but like, my husband is still serving and his mission hasn't changed. So for him, he coming home and I'm sitting in the couch looking distressed. And he doesn't know how to approach me, right? Because he doesn't know what I'm going through unless I open my mouth and tell him, hey, I got another rejection email, or, I'm not good enough, I guess, anymore. He had to listen and be able to understand and have that emotional intelligence that, hey, let me listen to her and acknowledge that she's going through something that I'm not going through. So it's important that our family members understand that it's going to be like another mission, but this mission is different and it's going to take some time, and they just have to understand what it is, you know?
I love the fact that you talked about that. You talked about, being open to communicate. Now, Ira, you and I know there was always a place where we could just go and communicate. My brother, would you do us the honors?
I used to love and I still do, and I don't even smoke anymore, but every once in a while I'm on base or I walk past the local tavern and I get that whiff, right? Everybody, tribe, welcome to the smoke pit. This is where there is absolutely no rank. You can kind of just come in, take your top off, chill for a little bit, maybe smoke a square or two, carry on with your day. Which I want to bring up something real quick about smoking, Chaz and
Uh-oh.
Ivette. I
Mhm.
don't know if you ever smoked, but
I dabbled here and there, especially after a night of heavy drinking. I just reached for
oh yeah,
somebody's
those don't count. Yeah, yeah. The alcohol cigarettes don't count at all. Neither do if you're sitting waiting for your child to be delivered. If you're the father, don't be no mama up in the stirrups lighting up a Marlboro. You know, there's a few that are acceptable throughout life, like, So I miss 3 cigarettes. If I could limit myself to 3 cigarettes a day, these are the ones I would choose. I would choose that one right when you woke up. Because, man, that was always my wake-up call. Just, oh, man, stumble down the stairs, light up a smoke, sit there, chill with a cup of coffee. The one always that I loved the most, actually, was the one after lunch when you were chilling in the smoke pit with the boys, with the crew, right? That was the best. And that one hit hard, too, because, like, it helped you beat that itis, that after food court itis that we'd all get.
Yeah.
And then the third one was always not leaving the shop. But when you first get home and you kind of get settled in, out on that back patio and you spark one up, and you just let the day just kind of float away. Those are my 3 that I if I could only smoke 3 cigarettes a day for the rest of my life, those are the times I would choose. By the way, fam, Chaz and I met over a pack of cigarettes in Osam. We still can't remember to this day who owed who a cigarette. But literally, we both ended up with a square, and it was like that, oh my God, stepbrothers, did we just become best friends kind of scene? So that's the backstory on me and, the ebony to my ivory. So, Chaz, question again. What was your favorite smoke of the day?
All right, so obviously, Ira, I'm gonna agree with you that one when as soon as you woke up in the morning, that was
Mm,
always
uh-huh.
that was always a kind of like bam, the day has started, right?
Let's light it.
Um, and so during the time that I actually was a smoker, I didn't eat a lot. So like I
Mm,
didn't have that lunch to be able to like go out and have that smoke afterwards. But I will tell you, there wasn't a dinner that didn't see me coming that didn't try to run. All right. So
mhm.
by the time I got to that dinner, man, so I used to do this thing, and this is gonna sound crazy to a lot of folks, but I always ate really big dinners. And so I would eat like half my dinner, take a break, go mow that marb, and then go back and finish.
You
And
literally took a smoke break during mealtime.
right, who does that, man? Like,
Apparently, Chaz does.
listen,
Never heard
Ira,
of that.
you guys always told me I was different, but as I age, I started to realize you guys are absolutely right. I was different.
No, nothing wrong
Do
with
you
that,
guys
man. We
still
accept you
smoke to
as
this
you
day?
are.
No, no.
No, I
I
quit.
mean,
Oh, so many years ago.
Oh,
oh
awesome.
yeah,
Oh, cigarettes? No, I don't smoke those at all. At all. Um, I'm gonna throw that term holistic healing in there for one of our new future guests and one of my new friends, Abby. She's a holistic healer, has a whole thing going on down in Costa Rica. Went from being a lieutenant colonel, and she is now a self-proclaimed hippie down in Costa Rica.
It's funny because when you sent the email, for the podcast package that we send out, and they feel like I went and started trolling her, and bro, like I didn't want to say that, but since you already said it, that's the first thing that came to my mind. I was like, oh my gosh. Like
Yeah.
for the first time in my life, I'm actually going to sit down and have a conversation with a real live hippie. That's freaking awesome.
That is amazing. I can't wait to listen.
Yeah, and she's actually a fellow port dog, Chaz. She was a logistics readiness officer in the Air Force. So
What?
yeah, she worked in the aerial port a couple times. So yeah, mad shout out to her, Abby. She's going to be a guest here shortly on future episodes to come. Um, yeah, it's about that time. I mean, the smoke pit has been great. We didn't even cover the topic we were going to discuss.
I do think there's a shout out warranted though. Ira,
Oh,
I'm going to give you the honors there.
Yeah, you are right. Chavis Dupuy wanted us to talk about alcohol in the military. So, I mean, we could sit and chat a bit about it for a while.
I think
So,
it's a heavy subject for a lot of people, right? Because
mhm.
one way or another, the military does glamorize alcohol, right? Even when we have balls, you have the grog ball. At least in the army we did, and they bring all
Oh, we
kinds
got
of liquors in there, and and other condiments. But it's part of the culture,
mhm.
and to this day, it's something that I always think about. Like, damn, did I really need to drink that much? So it's something that it needs to be said, it needs to be talked about, and a lot of people might not want to hear, because when they have a stressful day, they reach for that bourbon or the beer or whatnot,
Mhm.
because it's there. Um, but then we need to find better ways of coping with stressors in our life besides reaching for the glass, right? Reaching for the bottle. Um,
Yeah.
I know I have to take my
Yeah,
own
it's
advice.
Oh,
I've
yeah,
I don't know about you guys, but I haven't tasted a drop of alcohol in my life.
Really? Wow.
Yvette, if you buy that, I got a bridge to sell you. Oh, man. So, yeah. Oh, man.
Uh,
Do you
Ooh,
do you consume
that's a
alcohol,
whopper,
Chas?
Chaz.
so I don't now.
Okay.
Um, well, obviously, I'm definitely not right now because I'm doing this challenge, and so
Oh yeah,
We're
by
gonna
the way,
um,
talk
how's
about
the
that.
75
Absolutely.
hard going?
today is day 21, and I'm still winning. So,
That's great.
Mhm.
yeah.
So, since we have transitioned already into the fitness
Ugh.
side of the show, again, mad shout out to Travis for giving us the idea to talk about alcohol in the military. We're actually probably going to end up doing an entire segment just on that one. Because if that's right, that does warrant kind of a deeper conversation, because a lot of veterans do battle alcohol before and after they get out, right? It's the norm. So we're going to tackle that in another episode. But for now, this is the segment that Chaz is always stoked about hearing. And we've actually had quite a few shout outs about it. Everyone loves the name, brother. So in perpetuity, that's it, man. We could do a whole podcast and call it nothing but Chazercise.
All right. Well, listen. You know what? I'm getting to really love Chazercise, to be honest with you. Like it's something that causes me to actually do a little bit more digging, right? Because you know I never said this when I first started, right? Obviously, I'm not a physician, right? But it is very important to know your limits. It's very
Mhm.
important to know, your capabilities when it comes to uh, fitness, right? And your body is very unique. So I get that. And so I started doing some research on that and everything. And so I'll just tell you, like, you know, if you don't know your genealogy with your body, learn it. There's a lot of things that, that's out there that we think is good for our body health. Right. I take food, right? So I I had a nutritionist break this down to me when I told him, "Hey, I want to stay away from red meat." And he was like, "How come?" I was like, "Yeah, well, the doctor said I shouldn't have much red meat. It's, bad for cholesterol and high blood pressure. And us black folks, we're plagued by that, right?" And so he sat down and he broke it down to me. He said, "So think about this. Think about the genealogy of black people, right? You know, in the motherland, they wasn't growing fruits and vegetables out in the Sahara, right? So when you look at the genealogy of it, they actually hunted their food. That means their food was red meat, right? It wasn't until the Europeans came and then they started planting fruits and vegetables in the outer borders, the outer countries of the continent, right? And so when you start thinking about that and how our gene pools work, it makes sense. And so I started eating more red meat. I started eating more eggs. And wouldn't you know it, lo and behold, my cholesterol went down, my blood pressure went down, all these things. So your genes, the makeup of your body plays a big part of that. But that's not what I really wanted to cover on Chazicide today. So I apologize for going on that tangent. But I'd say all that is to say, learn your body, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what I do want to talk about this week, this episode on Chazicide is I want to give something it's for everybody, but some of there's folks out there, and I know part of our tribe, we have some tribe out there that, they truly have ailments that causes them to not be as mobile as the rest of us, right? And fitness isn't just about mobility. So I want to take this time to talk a little bit about mental fitness, right? Because mental fitness is just as important as physical fitness, right? They do kind of rely heavily on each other. If you're not mentally fit, your body cannot adapt to stress. Your
Mm-hmm.
body will break down. You will crash when you're put into stressful situations, to include eustress situations, right? Which we all know eustress is that good stress. That's stress that we need in our life. That gives us that purpose for getting up every day, So, but if you're not mentally there, if your mental well-being is not there, then your body does not have the ability to handle the stress. And one thing that we know about transitioning veterans is that, my gosh, those are stressful times for them as they're making that transition, when looking for a job, moving their family, working with the VA to get paid, some going back to school. There's a lot of things that we deal with. So your mental fitness is super important to be able to handle those stressors that are coming on. And as we go through life with these ailments and, life's going to keep lifing. Right. So we have to be able to mentally recharge, mentally take. So here's my tips for mental recharges. I'm going to give you my daily routine for mental recharge is every morning I take 10 minutes, right? I've heard some people say you should do it for 30 and you should do it for this. I take 10 minutes and I sit in a dark room. I drop my shoulders, I close my eyes, and I just relax. Right. While I'm relaxed, I try my best not to think about anything, right? I'm not using that time to plan my day. I'm not thinking about who I need to call. I'm just literally being present with myself, right? I'm taking a few deep breaths in there. I'm just really just relaxing my entire body, right? And that little 10-minute exercise, you will not believe the amount of mental clarity it gives you it's almost like a micro detoxification of your brain.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so that is my little tip for mental fitness this episode on Chazercise. What do you got for me?
So you've been doing the 75 hard challenge for what, 3 weeks now, right?
Do not do that to me. It's been 21 days. Today is day 21.
That would be 3 weeks. So, so what's the status? Like, how are you feeling? Like, what's going on with the body, with the mind, down that everything's, kind of, you've gone past that initial surge into the challenge.
Man, I'm going to tell you, I've never really been more clearer on the energy drainers in my day,
Mm-hmm.
right? We call those energy drainers. Those are the things that we do every day that we have no business doing, and we don't even need them. We just do them because they're habits,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so one of the challenges that I found doing the 75 hard, obviously, is, I'm on the go a lot. I travel a little bit here and there, or I work I have a day job, plus I own a business, and, both of them keep me rather busy. And it's more of a mental toughness challenge than it is a physical challenge, right? The
Oh yeah,
workout,
yeah.
the drinking the water, the eating right. I've been doing that for years, right? But there's an accountability piece with this one, right? Because no matter what hits you in life, you have to do these tasks every day. Case in point, a couple weekends ago, remember I had to go out of town. I had anytime I live in Panama City, Florida. So anytime I'm traveling, it's an all day ordeal because there's, you got to fly to Atlanta or you got to fly to Dallas or Nashville to catch connecting flights to fly, back down to Orlando, right? It makes no sense to me, but that's the way it works. But so it was a long day of travel, but in that long day of travel, I still had to get a second workout in, right? I still had to get my daily reading in. I still had to make sure that I drank a lot of water because I'm gonna tell you guys, when I get on the plane, I try to drink as least amount as I possibly can because I'm not trying to get up and be like, oh, excuse me, can you let me out? And then they fall asleep and now you got to wake them up. So I try not to drink on a plane. So guess what that does? That puts me behind on drinking my gallon of water a day.
Mm.
So now I'm getting off the plane and the first thing I'm looking for is a vending machine so I can buy a bottle of water and get back on the grind, right? And so it really does. It has helped me shape a lot of the energy drainers, because there's some things that I'm like, oh, you know what? I can't do this because I got to go get my 45-minute outside workout on. So I'm not going to be doing this today, you
Mhm.
know. And so when you start to prioritize, when you're mentally challenging yourself, and then those drainers present themselves, you start asking yourself, like, okay, what's more important to me? Is it more important to me to complete this challenge that's, helping me? Or do I give into this energy drainer that's not going to help me? Right. So that's been a really good thing. I feel great. Um, I've never just, it's been a long time since I've had this type of just like general clarity.
That's awesome, dude. Like, I know one of the big things is people say when we get out as veterans that I got this disability or that, or, this is going on. Um, I think where we hurt ourselves on that is by saying, "Oh, it has to be that old school PT regimen, right?
Uh-uh.
It's got to be the run, it's got to be the crunches and this, that, and the other." Like, why? Like, so long as you're maintaining a good physique that you are happy with and that you can, function and play with your kids, your grandkids, or, just generally function through life. Like, what are we training for now? And we said that in, what is it, the first episode, Chaz, your life is now your purpose.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
yeah. So
Ira,
one,
I want before hold that thought, buddy, because I want to say one thing to something that you just said. When we were talking about, we think about old school training methods. I just want to throw this out there to my vet tribe, right? My nana is 84, 84, and her and I do a daily devotional at 0700 every morning. 0700 my time, 0800 her time. And while we are doing our devotional, I'm driving most of the time, but she's doing chair aerobics, right? And I didn't know what chair aerobics really was, and then till my nana told me about it, and so I went in. So, like, listen, if you got knee problems, if you got elbow problems, if you got back problems, I'm going to tell you something. Chair aerobics is the way to go,
mm. Now,
right? So change, you don't have to go the old school, get out and run and
mhm,
be in the weight room lifting all the weights. Like chair aerobics is all about, just joint movement, right?
mhm.
Joint movement, muscle use. Like you just need to use your muscles now. You don't need to grow them.
Yeah. Yeah, most definitely.
All right.
So my question is, like, do we wanna change the term from chair aerobics and market our own workout plan called chair-robics? I want you to think on that. Don't answer me now, brother. Don't answer me now. Just sit on it, let it steep. We'll ask on the next episode. Um, Yvette, do you have anything for the Chazzercise segment? Like, what is it you do? Like, you're staying mobile, you're staying, busy, and, what are you doing these
Yeah,
days?
so every Monday I try to go for a run with some of my clinic staff. We decided to start,
Mm-hmm.
running on Mondays after we finish our clinic. And then I go do a HIIT workout on Saturdays at the gym. And I try to reach my steps every day. And
Mm-hmm.
I try to do 2 long walks during the week outside. Um, so yeah, not as mobile. I mean, I'm staying mobile, but not as like the PT that I was doing when
Mm-hmm.
we were, running 2 miles in 15 minutes. No, no, none of that. No.
Yeah,
Who ran
ain't
2
nobody got
miles in
time for that.
15? I don't think I ever. Ira did. Ira was a running fool. I ain't even gonna lie. Ira used to run like Forrest Gump.
Mm.
Everywhere he was going, he was running. Like
Hey, run like the wind blows. Yeah, and that's the one workout I actually miss because I can't do it anymore because of my back and
Yeah,
knee
yeah.
issues, and I can't run. Like I tried getting back into running about 2.5, 3 years ago. It was a train wreck, man. Like, yeah, it was a horrible mess. I don't even know how to frame and say how I looked, but it was probably equivalent to a walrus in a wetsuit trying to get out of a slippery wet pool of WD-40. It was horrible. Like, it was bad, man. Um, but with that, let's roll out of Chazercise. That was a great sesh. Just remember, Vet Fam, fitness is a priority as important as it was in the military. Now that we're out and living for ourselves, it's just as important, right? Um,
facts.
just get up and get moving, get you a Fitbit or get the apps that you need. There's a great app I use for stretching called Bend,
Ooh.
and it's like $3 a month. So for one, the price of one of your lattes or, a gallon of gas, hopefully you're in that region where it's a gallon of gas for $3. But, you know, there's those simple little things out there we can use to motivate us and keep us moving. So with that, it's now time to transition into the final segment of the show. And it's the one segment we've devoted to those folks at the end of every staff meeting or at the end of every commander's call or shift brief. And I don't know why we ever asked people if they had these. Like, the commander didn't want to hear it. So why did he always ask if there are any saved rounds? And Chaz, it's your turn this week to go first. What is your
Okay,
saved
all
round?
right. I got 2 things.
Uh-oh. You little major Dewey? I got 2 things for you.
In light of that, Ira, the 50th anniversary of Survivor just started.
Oh, my Lord.
Listen,
I wonder if he ever applied to be on the show.
we should get him. We should find him. We should find him and get him on the show.
Yes,
We got to get him on the cast.
Yeah.
So Ira, I do have really one thing that I wanted to say. So today, I was trolling Facebook like I do for about 10 to 15 minutes every day. And it popped up.
Uh-oh.
We on deck.
We on deck.
I'm gonna win. Dude. Listen, you guys, tribe out there, listen. We don't want to see anything happen to any of our tribe members, right? But, Ira and I we've already made a promise to each other that whoever goes first, the other one's busting up in the church. And what we gonna sing, Ira?
The
room.
In Jesus.
Oh my God, that came up. And, those are things that I'm grateful for. That's what my saved round is.
Dude.
My saved round is gratefulness. I'm super grateful that I'm able to have memories of good times, memories of good people because of a movie clip.
Yeah.
Right.
It's the simple things from when we served, right?
Yeah, for sure. And I think when we acknowledge those little things is what's going to get us through our transition. Those little things is what's going to get us back on track to live that life that, my creator, I'll say my creator, because I don't know if he's your creator or not, but, my creator created me to have a long, bountiful, and happy life, right? And yeah, we know things happen, right? That kind of derail us, but you know, try your best every day to find something to be grateful for,
Mm.
right? Call a friend, hug a friend, whatever. Like, find something to be grateful for every day. Get that little side. We call in my profession, we call those moments of gratitude. We call those things signs of life, right? Because that's just what they are. When we focus on the good things, right? It's like, remember the movie Monsters Inc. Right? Remember they had to collect all the screams, and then they found out that the laughter was like 10 times as potent.
Mm-hmm.
Vet Tribe, get out there and laugh more. And with that, Ira, back over to you, buddy.
Oh, man, that was a good one. I was just gonna pass it off to Yvette because I want to hear her saved round. And I see from the eyebrow raise that she's like, "Oh, this motherfucker just put me on the spot." But Yvette, I want to hear your saved round. I know you've been sitting on one for a while. Let's hear it.
Yeah,
Don't make no shit up now.
I
no,
know,
I'm not
right?
making no
God,
shit up now. You know, I like you, and I am very grateful of all the experiences that I had in my time in service and all the people that I met, right? And like you, I do enjoy just reliving or looking back at I could be driving down the road and just a memory pops up or something triggers a memory, right? And I am so grateful for that because maybe that made my day that day, and I can continue down the road and just like, maybe I'm gonna reach out to this person. I haven't talked to them in a hot minute. Let me scroll through Facebook and see what they're up to in their life, or congratulate them for something. So like you, I am very grateful for the memories, and for everything that the military has given me and the opportunities. And because a lot, I mean, yeah, I encountered a lot of hardships, but I think the better memories and the best times of my life obviously happened in the military, and I'm grateful for all that. So
Mm-hmm. Very nice. So my saved round hit me a couple days ago, and I've been sitting on this, and I did some research. Do you guys know what the average length of time a veteran serves? What is
Isn't it
the
like 8 years?
4 to 6 years is the
Yeah.
average time in service for a veteran. And here's what I've come to get a little upset with. The word only. I only served 4 years. I
Mm.
only served
yeah,
in the States. Hey, did you deploy? I only went to LUD. Hey, did you do this? No, I was never on the front lines. I
like
only
it's never
worked,
enough.
in the rear. I have come to despise that word. So and I'm gonna break it down why. There is, being retired and trying to get the Bravo Mission Radio brand and what we do out there. I talk to a lot of veterans that are in this arena, and quite a few of them have said, I only served 4 years, or I only did this when I was in. Or I only served back, years ago. It was a lifetime away. Like, why do we do that? It's part of, I think, that minimization of our service. A lot of us do.
Mm.
And and one of the people I was talking to that kind of triggered this to become a thing was, um, is a potential guest that I'm still working with, to get her on the show. And she sums it up best. She goes, I think people do that because Hollywood has turned the military into this over glorified thing, right? Um, it's always about, and I love them to death. I got quite a few friends in it. It's always about the special forces, or it's always about the incident that
Mm.
happened here, or it involves a general. And then you take into account all the books that are coming out now, right? And I want to research this, but I don't know what percentage of the military is quote unquote the average Joe.
Mm.
And we do it to ourselves by saying, oh, I only worked on the flight line for however long. I only loaded planes, or I was only a medical corps vet tech. You know, and seriously, and we do it to ourselves. And so my saved round is, do not minimize your service.
Yeah.
You serve. You are a part of the tribe. It doesn't matter what you did, because the whole ecosystem of the military depended on probably about 90% to make the mission happen. The other 10%,
Mhm.
yeah, they went out, they did the great, grand, and wonderful Hollywood, flashy, bang, bang stuff. But a large majority, be proud of your service.
Bro, I don't know about you, but if it wasn't for me, I single-handedly changed the outcome of at least 3 wars. So,
Oh, yeah. You know, I found my LOE from my first time in Afghanistan, and I wish I had it on me here, but oh, it's right here. So
oh,
let's see where I could find it real quick. Downloaded a shower and latrine trailer for
Mm.
Air Force Village. That's actually something they wrote up on my letter of evaluation so they could give me my annual appraisal. Basically, they're saying, and I did it safely, apparently, according to the rest of the line. So basically, they're saying, I downloaded shitters and didn't break nothing while I did it.
No, you got to reframe that, Ira. That is not what you did, bro. What you did was you downloaded jitters and showers so that our frontline workers could actually go out there and not give away their position, because they were able to wash all the stench off. And so you single-handedly changed the outcome of the war. Just
Oh,
saying.
apparently, I was a biohazard prevention technician. Is that what you're saying? Like, let's church it up a little bit.
Absolutely.
Let's see how far we can
No,
go.
you're never a technician. You was an engineer.
Or a SME. I honchoed it.
Mhm.
Remember
There you go.
honchoed? You can verbificate anything for an annual appraisal, can't you? Like,
Absolutely.
I've seen someone use the word captained.
That
They
was a
captained.
captain?
He
He
captained
captained
this.
A
the
Like,
captain,
boat.
captain.
no, he was an airman. He was an airman. He wasn't even a captain.
Oh, shit.
But, that's just the things that make me go, So with that, Vet fam, I'm going to say my goodbyes right now because I want Ivette to roll us out of here. But before I do, just remember, you are no longer your rank. You have your own identity. You have your own purpose. Go out there and find it. Reach out to your network. Tap into all those people you've known over the years. And last but not least, before we roll out, Chas, would you like to introduce our new Bravo Mission Radio group admin and moderator?
Hey y'all, I just want to let y'all know before I bring this person on who you've actually already heard from, I want you to remember, like, share, pass this on to a transitioning vet, pass this on to all vets, right? We'd love to hear their story. We'd love to have them on the show. We'd love to just talk to them. Yeah, we're going to grow this tribe. And with that, I am going to turn this over to our new Facebook group moderator. And let's just listen. She's also
Linda.
she is going to be a co-host periodically on here. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, United States Army Major retired Ivette Daley.
Yay! Thank you so much, you guys. You have given me a purpose, the last 2 episodes have been amazing for me to just dig deep in my feelings and in my heart and my mind to see where I'm at. And I thank you for this community that you're creating. And thank you for, everything that you're doing for the veterans out there. So yeah, I will be moderating the Facebook group. So please, 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 um, just be nice. If you don't have anything to say, don't say it. Okay? That's how I will leave that.
Oh yeah, don't let me catch you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We all saw what happened last time. Did that, didn't we? Ooh,
Ooh,
I don't care. I said it.
ooh.
He was mean, dude. Like, and y'all, hey, Chaz, you know me. He got my hackles up, dude.
I thought about it for a while too, because I was like, Ira's overreacting, like he always does, because that's my bro. Like,
No, man.
but no, absolutely not.
That one was
Absolutely
uncalled.
not.
That was a little bit offside. It's not my tribe. Not my tribe.
Facts.
So with that, this has been Bravo Mission Radio, here for you, for the veterans in transition, the ones who've gone through it, the ones who are about to go through it. So Bravo Mission Radio, out for now.
Peace.